1 second here. All right. Sorry about that. All right, so welcome again. What we're going to be talking about today is the Digital Studio, and we will be showing you, why you should be using Digital Studio. And but before we actually get into that, I just want to point out the upcoming webinars that we're going to be having. That information can be found also in here in your help menu. So within your help menu, when you log into Magazine Manager, you're going to have a link over here on the left-hand side where it says Webinars. This webinar link is going to have all the upcoming webinars. The 2 upcoming webinars here in September, it's going to be on September 10th, and it's going to be about different tools that you have available within Magazine Manager and Newspaper Manager. On September 24th, we will show you how to set up a product from all the way from the beginning and all the way to the end. In addition to that, just real quick here, we also have the Learning Center videos. We can come in and review any part of the software, and this will just a great help tool for you. All right, so. All right, so today we will be talking about why you should be using Digital Studio. I'm going to give you a short overview of Digital Studio and how to use the pagination tool. How assets are uploaded and how to publish. I'm going to show you the ability to create custom digital editions. I'm going to show you some of the analytics that we have available as well, and some of the features. And then finally, I'm going to give you an example of a client who's actually using the digital editions and how it's helped their business. So this is the beginning here, Digital Studio. First of all, what you'll see here is why did we create Digital Studio, the thinking behind this. We created Digital Studio because we wanted an integrated system with Magazine Manager. We wanted a tool that can help save time on the production side. We wanted a tool that also would help us produce a digital edition for viewing on computers and on all tablets. A tool that can help us upsell new and existing clients. This is a big one because this is not something that most other digital editions will help you do. And that's kind of what sets us apart from others. We wanted a tool who can help cut down the time production managers lose due to interruptions. We wanted a tool as well that would map real insertions. So we reasoned that in that case you're less likely to forget an ad. We know from a fact that clients do forget ads, and that does end up costing money both in time and also for the client. You have to offer them to run at a different time and so on and so forth. We thought we could reduce the frustration among other members of the staff because now they're going to have direct access to the information they're going to need. They'll actually be able to see, where you're at in the pagination process. You'll have a history of every change that's made on the flat plan. So if there is a mistake on that flat plan, you'll actually know who made it. So you can come back and now we can correct that error so it doesn't happen in the future. We also wanted a tool that would be able to, where you would be able to create affordable iPad editions that does not have a cost per issue charge. So why use Digital Studio versus other providers? The advantages of using our Digital Studio here, the first obvious one is that it is integrated with Magazine Manager. You can create custom digital editions versus just copies of your magazine. Most of the other providers that's out there, they simply just provide you with a here's all your final PDFs. These are the same PDFs as you have from your magazine. At that point, you would just publish that. Now here, we actually give you the tools where you can add your own pages, and then you'll be able to publish those in addition to whatever you already did. We also can offer hyperlinks, e-comments, clip and share, multimedia, and more. And I'm going to show you some of these tools today. Analytics, we're going to have different types of analytics. One of the questions we often get when we talk to our clients is that they're interested in seeing, well, how many downloads did I have? But really the focus here should be on the page views and not so much the downloads. Because anybody can provide, I had, 500 downloads last month. Well, how many of the 500 downloads actually viewed your pages? That's really where the focus should be. So we'll provide you with, the amount of downloads you have, page views, hyperlinks clicked, and so on and so forth. You will have the opportunity to enable and disable your own digital editions at any time. So you don't have to ask permission for somebody or pay extra to republish something in the future. You are going to be published by default here on 4 different newsstands. First of all, just on the regular web, on iOS devices like Apple, Android devices, and Kindle devices as well. You can create custom digital editions for your current clients. And this is a great way for you to upsell your clients. This could be at the end of the year. You're going to take, all the ads that's been clicked out the most. You will be able. I'm just being told here that you guys cannot see my screen, so I'll have to kind of just talk you through it. Okay, sorry about that. Being told that a few of you are not able to see the screen, other people are able to see it, so I do apologize for those who cannot see it. I will go ahead and continue here. We do have the option to create custom digital editions from your current clients. You can upsell your clients. Things like the best of the year. You would take your, all the ads that's been clicked on the most throughout the year, and simply you can republish those. You could create a restaurant guide, and this in itself could be marketed by itself. So if you have, 50 restaurants that advertise with you throughout the year, well, you could create a whole guide here now and custom a digital edition just with the restaurants. Now you can send this out to all the restaurants, and they can actually use that to promote their own restaurants and come to our area here, and maybe they want to advertise and put coupons and things like that in that particular guide. You could do a best doctor, best dentist, best in real estate, just to give some examples. And I'm going to show you that today here. Content remarketing, kind of what a little bit towards the lines here that we just talked about above. Search for content or clients to quickly post specific ads, select those, and create a custom digital edition. Could be at the end of the year, you have BMW, they advertise with you, 15 times over the past year. You want to quickly pull up all those ads that they have created, and then create a custom digital edition and just send that to them and say, thank you for a great year. Here are all the ads you ran this year. It could be that you want to put it together so the client can actually use this to market on for their own sites. So now all of a sudden you have something that you can provide your clients instead of just asking them to advertise with you. Now you actually tangibly have something to offer them in return. So it's a win-win for both sides. So we want to start here in Magazine Manager. What happens is that as soon as you book a client or book a contract in Magazine Manager, what happens is that at that point, I'll show you here real quick. There's several contracts booked for this particular client. The issue we'll be working on today is going to be the December issue. So you can see here for BMW, they have 2 ads booked, a quarter page and a half page horizontal. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into Digital Studio here at this point. By the way, Digital Studio, in order to gain access to Digital Studio, full access, you have to be an enabled user, and that's done over here in the employees and within the employee editor. And then in this case here, I'll check myself here. At the bottom here, we have a Digital Studio user. That has to be selected for yes. So as an administrator, if you have somebody that's not an administrator that you want to allow access in here, maybe a production person or similar, you have to enable them as Digital Studio users. Once they've been enabled, you can access Digital Studio from your production dropdown, enable as Digital Studio, and Digital Studio login. And then you'll be presented with this particular page here where you then log in. Your login is going to be the same as your Magazine Manager login. So at this point here, if you have not logged in before, and if this is your first time, you will be presented with this screen that you're looking at here. In that case, what you will do here at the bottom is going to be you're going to select the issue that you want actually to work on. So you're going to select that and then say, okay, that's the one we want. Select it, and then you'll be presented with this screen right here. This is going to be your settings screen, where you will have to actually select all the ad sizes that you have for this particular issue. You simply check mark those here, and then you map them in Digital Studio. So this is an important part of it. And also here you would also enter the width and the height of your magazine. Finally, we have a flat plan view. This is where during the pagination process we can display here what type of information is going to be important for us to view. And this may not make a little bit of, make sense right here, but as you see the flat plan, you'll see that it's going to make more sense. At that point, once we click Save on there, this little screen here is going to come up where we can create a folios. A folios is in essence sections of our magazine. These sections are already created. In this case here, I have a cover section, I have a top story section, and I have a news and help down here at the bottom. Now you can see there's different colors in these pages. For some of you, this is brand new. For others, you may have been using this before, and for some of you, this will look familiar. But in essence, what you see, all the green ads that you see, all the green pages, are actually ads that's already been placed on the pages. On the pinkish colors here are actually editorial items that's already been placed on these pages. So the way it works, as I mentioned before, we have the ad, excuse me, we have the ad that's in here from BMW that's just been entered. As soon as that's entered in the system, it now comes over here into Digital Studio. Within Digital Studio, once we have had everything set up, we also have placeholders. These placeholders can be put in place. Let's say that BMW, we know that they want to advertise within the December issue, but they don't actually have the ad in here yet. We can grab one of these placeholders and actually put it in here and say, you know, BMW is going to advertise with us on this particular page. Now, when the ad actually came in and we created a contract for them, we simply come down here below the placeholders, and they're going to be listed down here. Now we can see here is the page holder or page that they want. We can see in the ad notes, it says here that there was actually put in here that page 4 is where they want to be. Okay, so at that point we know the ad is here. I can remove the placeholder simply by clicking the X, and then I can go over here and I can grab my ad and just simply drag it over and drop it. Same thing applies for any of the other ad sizes. In this case, I have another one, a smaller one for BMW. I'm going to grab that and put it on here. Now you'll notice that some of these pages have another background color. In this case here, it's a blue. This is just simply a way for you to indicate where in your layout do you have certain stories that you want. It could be that you have, you know, this is my top story area. It could be that you have a classified area. You want to indicate that by certain colors. In essence here, I can select a couple different pages in here. I can come up to my color palette at the top and just select the background color that's what I want for that, indicating that this is a certain part. Now these colors will reflect on the next issue you're going to be working on as well. Now to come back up here to the ads, we can see now BMW and Audi is right next to each other. I know for a fact that this is probably not something that they're going to want. They don't want to advertise right next to each other. So in this case here, I can simply just grab one of these and I'll just put it on the next page over. So at any point here, you have live access to move your ads around even after the fact. So you can quickly come in here and you can manipulate it. So that's how the ad order placement functions. Anytime you delete one from here, it's placed back over in the list here. So you see as soon as I click delete, it comes back over here now ready to be placed. So of course at the end of the issue here, you shouldn't have any more orders or insertions left over here. They should all be placed on your pages. Now we can switch this to editorial view. So again, at the top, I'm going to have all the placeholders available to me. So at any point, if I know, well, on any page that I have in here, I want to place a new item, I can either grab a placeholder or I can create a new editorial item. The way to create a new editorial item is done up here at the top, right here where it says New Editorial. I simply click on that, and all I have to do at that top, at that spot here, is put in the name. So I'm just going to go ahead and put in BMW here as well. I can then put in the type. These types are set up within Magazine Manager in the website setup, and you can set up as many types in here as you like. So this is just an example, of course. We have a cover story, feature story. I'm going to go ahead and put in the cover story here, and then indicate what is the page size. I'm just going to do a quarter page. Now that's it. I don't have to record anything else. At this point, I could come to the bottom and click Save. The other functions that I do have available to me here is that I could record, you know, if this was multiple pages, I could record in here. It says 2 pages, how many words, budget per page per word. I can add contributors. So who is going to be writing the story for me? I can click the Add button here, and a list of writers and photographers pop up. Now, how do I get that list to pop up? That is done in here in Magazine Manager. So if I go back in here and I actually pull up BMW again, I click my Details tab, and then I click my Contact Groups. My contact groups have a photo contact and a writer. If those are indicated here, then they will show up in Digital Studio. In essence, this is a way for you to keep track of all the people that's going to be writing for you, for all your photographers that you may have that does projects for you. You can keep track of all their contributions as well. So I will go ahead and just simply grab one of these and say, okay, this particular person here, Janice, is going to be doing the story. I click OK. So now that information is listed here. Now, what type of activity is it that she's going to be doing? In this case, it's a story. I can put in here, when was this assigned on? We can see that this was assigned on the 1st. When was it due on? We'll say on the 15th. If we know what day she started, we can put that in here. We can indicate, what date did she complete this on. Well, let's say she completed before time here. Of course, if these does not really apply to your workflow, you can simply remove these and add your own by name and then the date ranges. Then we have an option here to upload. This will actually be the story itself that you can upload. And finally, we have a comments area where you can comment, create your own comments on Janice and on her ability to write a good story. At that point, we can come in here and we click Save. Now, as soon as that's done, that editorial item is now added over here. So we can see BMW has now been added. And at that point, I simply have to just grab it and then pull it into where I wanted it. Now, of course, maybe I didn't want it in here. Maybe I wanted it up, near where the rest of the stories are. I could just come up here. Again, I can just remove one of the other ones and then replace it. What you also see in here on both the editorial items and also on the ads themselves, it is displaying the name of the client in here or the name of the editorial item that we created. So in the case of the one we just created here, I put in BMW as the name, and you see that's displayed here. For any of the ads, I can click on the little info button here and just click on it once, and it will actually display, all the notes and activities. And this is some of the things I was just pointing out before, that you can set up what information do you want to display. And that's done here in the settings in the flat plan view. So that's the pagination process itself. At that point, when we are done paginating the entire story here, let me just grab one more here. So this is the ads. Here's the third page here. Okay. We can come up to the top here, and at that point we're ready to print this out. I can click the print, depending on your size format here. Simply click print, and then this will either pop up as a PDF or you'll have it on your screen. I can then enlarge it to however I want, and I can print it out to my local printer. Depending, of course, on your printer and the paper, you can print it out as large as you like. But you'll see here what is nice in here on this particular printout is that everything is in color. So you'll actually be able to see all the things that you marked. You'll be able to see, okay, these are the blue background pages, and this is where I have my top story, and so on. Of course, if you don't use this, I know a lot of production managers that they may have multiple pages or multiple screens. In that case, you can simply pop this on one screen when you go into InDesign or similar and start actually creating the final PDFs of the pages. We do have an option here to resize. I'm sitting here on a fairly small screen, but if you are sitting on a large monitor, you can just simply come in here and you can resize them and make it a little bit easier for you to view. Once we've done that and you've created your PDFs and they're ready for upload, as I mentioned, they will be done in InDesign or similar software that you have. You'll come in here and we have a folder here called Publish Ready folder. This is where you would upload all the final PDFs. The way you upload is simply come into the top here, click on the Upload Files, browse your computer, and locate the folder where you have all the PDFs. And simply just highlight, in this case you would most likely highlight all. I'm just going to go ahead and do a couple here. At that point we have an option to actually create comments and keywords or tags on these items that we're uploading. When we've done that, we can simply click the Upload button, and as it's uploading, now it's done. Now it's going to reload. Now we can see the 2 pages that's done here are now uploaded. What happens in the upload process is that as long as all the text and all the pictures are saved, in particular the text is saved as vector text, then we actually scan this and for the content, and we will save it for you. And this is really important because now we're going to have, which I'm going to show you later, a search function where you can come in and you can search any of the ads that you actually have uploaded. So you can quickly search for all your entire database for any content that you have done in the past and create custom digital editions by doing either by client or do it by content. Now we also have options here to create individual folders for our clients. It could be that we want to have all the ad material listed here. We have a Dropbox feature as well. Now all these features actually have been talked about already in a past webinar. So I am going to go ahead and skip over that, but you can review that webinar, as mentioned earlier, in the Help menu. We do have a library folder. This one I do want to talk about. If you have things like videos, audio files, slideshows that you want to include on your digital edition when you're ready to publish, you would upload those in here. So now that we're ready to actually paginate or actually put the assets on the pages, we'll go back into the plan view here. And in the plan view at the top, we have three options. The default option is always going to be the insertions only mode, but now we can switch to content and insertion mode. We can minimize this, and now we'll have our assets. Now in this case here, everything has been placed. So let me just quickly go ahead and remove one of these assets so you can see what that would look like. Oh, that was the whole page here. Let's see, asset, there we go. Sorry, here we go. There we go. All right, sorry about that. So at that point now, if we go back in here, we have the content and insertions. We'll have the assets. So this is going to be all the pages that you have in your entire magazine. And at that point, you simply come over here, and again, you just grab them and place them on the pages that you want. And you would, of course, go through and you would do this for your entire magazine. Now, we also have options for, I know we have clients out here that are using the pagination tool, but they want to be able to just upload all their PDFs at once. We do have a way to do that. We have what we call quick pages. This will allow you to basically put in the height and the width and browse your computer and then just select all the PDFs that you want. And then once you have those, they should then be named in the right order. You can then simply upload all these, and they will actually be placed on in the right order of the magazine as they are uploaded. So that is an option here. Now at this point here, we have the content-only mode. We can go ahead and preview our edition, and we can go ahead and go through here. Then we can say, oh, you know what, I do need to, or I want to create hyperlinks. So let's go back into the plan view, and I can double-click on any of these pages, and from here I can now create hyperlinks. I can create e-comments buy now links. So the way this works is I have, as you can see here, these have already been created. We simply just redirect them to the Joomla's buy now link. So I'm going to show you here right now what that looks like. In a second here. So if I were to copy this here real quick. So in essence, this is what we would direct them to. So we would direct them right to the way they can buy the ring. Okay. The other links that's in here is going to be here at the bottom, you see. And this is just to go to the Joomla's website. Now, any links that you have already created in InDesign will already be put on the pages as well. So you don't have to come in and recreate any of that. Now, when you're ready to publish, all we have to do at that point is simply come in here, click on the Publish button, click Yes, and then put in your issue name, your product name, and the category, and of course your issue date. At that point, you put in a short description. This would be how you can define, how you can put the search for your magazine. You also put in here, make sure you always check mark this, also packaged for mobile devices. This is just basically allowing us to publish it to both the Android apps, iOS system, and for the Kindle devices. And then at that point, you simply click Publish. After a few minutes, it will be published, and you'll be provided with this link that you see here below. This link you can then grab, and you can now send this to all your advertisers. You would probably want to put a logo or something like that on it, in the emails. And when they click on that, now they have access to actually view the digital edition online. So this is what it would look like on the PC. So here you can see here's the Buy Now link. I click on it, and it just connects me straight to their website. So the nice thing here is that you'll see right here at the top right, it has a back to the magazine. So it should stay within the magazine. Now this is on the PC. If you're on the iPad or Android devices, it's not going to allow you to actually re-navigate to another website from here. The only option you're going to have is to click Done, and it'll bring you right back into the magazine. In essence, keeping your customers within the magazine. So you can browse through here, of course, and go through all the pages. So now that we are at this point here, I actually do want to show you what this looks like on an iPad. So let me just quickly log in here. 1 second. That doesn't look right. Try the server here again real quick. There we go. That looks better. Okay. So what does it look like? Before I actually show the magazine itself, I want to show you what or how you can actually access the free app that we have. The free app can be downloaded in the App Store, and it's called Magazine Central. Within Magazine Central, you then have access to actually download all these apps and view them on your iPad or Android devices or Kindle devices. So that's the first step there. Once you have the app in here, and it looks like this, so you see it right here at the bottom. Yeah. You simply click on it, and now it'll give you the Magazine Central. From here, you can then browse the store itself. The store is all the clients that we currently have that's currently publishing with us. They're now listed in here. When you're ready to view one, you simply click the download button. And then in this case here, I have the Stewart magazine here at the bottom that I already have downloaded. And I can see that all the ones I've already downloaded. I can also click on my library here at the top left. I can click on that. And then I have quick access to those. So I'm going to go ahead and click view on that. Let me quickly jump to the cover here. So this is the cover of it. So you can see right now I'm holding this in my horizontal view. If I want to view this, so it's just per page, I just flip the iPad around. And now I can browse through it here, sorry. So I can browse through each page. And as I go through it here, I can see any of the hyperlinks that's in here. For instance, here for Panera, I have a link here. I click on the link, and it opens up in another window. I can maximize that, so now I can actually see their entire website. Of course, if I need to see that in the other horizontal view, I can do that. When I'm done viewing or order food for that sake, I simply click the Done button, and that brings me right back into the digital edition. The other features we have readily available in here is going to be for you to share any pages, search for multimedia. So in this case here, we can see this is one of the doctors that actually have a video in here. And if I wanted to view it, I simply click the view, and it now comes up, and I can now view that. So the nice feature in here, of course, I've looked at this magazine before. One of the pages I want to show here, I know my wife is big into like the fashion and so on. So if I browse through here and I find something I really like, I can quickly come in here, make a bookmark for her. If there's something that I want to surprise her, I can quickly come in here and I can pull up their website. I can order whatever I need to from their website and so on and so forth. I also know that in this case here, I actually have a friend of mine that's looking for a new vehicle. So when I saw this particular article here, I browsed through here, and I know that he is actually very interested in this particular car. So what I did, I went up here to the share, and I just quickly took this particular page here, and I emailed it to him. The way that looks when you actually email this to a friend or a client is going to look like this. Let me just go ahead and minimize this. So when they receive it, there's going to just be a little look here on the pages. And then they're going to have a click here, and when they click on that, they're going to be brought right into the digital edition. if they are opening this on their iPad or their tablet devices, they have options here to be redirected right into the Magazine Central app, whether they can then download it, and at that point they have access to all the features that I'm showing you here on the Air server. So some of the other features we also have available here, let me quickly jump here to another bookmark that I created, is that let's say you have a friend of yours that's looking for a new house, and you just want to share, you're looking in here and say, you know what, I think this particular house up here is going to be of great interest for them. In that case, come in here and use the clip and share feature. Just simply highlight what part of it that you want and say, yeah, this is the one I want, and now click the email here, or either the email, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Tumblr, or LinkedIn, and you can now share just that part here. Now this is very unique, and we know most of our competitors out there simply don't have features like this. So those are some of the things that stands out on our behalf. So let me go back in here. So I wanted to show you, this is the Magazine Central app. So this is the free app that can be downloaded. But since I have this here now, I also want to show you what it actually looks like if you were to go into the Apple Newsstand. So this is the Apple Newsstand that we have right here. Some of you may recognize that. I want to show you another client that we have, our Gold Coast. So the Gold Coast magazine is right here, and you'll see the look and feel of it. It's very similar to what we have in the Magazine Central. But now you'll see here at the top, it just says that we have, this is the Gold Coast app. So now, of course, here I go into the actual issue here. Let me go to the front page, and here it is again. Now, depending on how I want to view it, I just click on it, and now I have all this. Again, I have the bookmarks, so if I want to go back into one of these bookmarks, I can quickly come in here and say, oh yeah, my wife obviously read this one last time because she created a bookmark here. She wanted to view the video, she could do that right here, and so on, and she can browse through. So it's the look and feel is very similar, regardless of you on the Apple Newsstand or the Magazine Central Newsstand. So it's a very professional look and clean look. All right, let me go ahead and minimize this here. So now, of course, once you have viewed all your issues here and clients have viewed this, you know, how do you track all this information? Well, this is where we come into the Analyze, and I have a page pulled up here. So we have the Analyze button, and here we have access to the digital editions. So I'm going to go ahead and actually look at this Stewart magazine. If I can find it here. So here we have, I'm going to look at all the issues, but you could limit this to just one issue to see, you know, for instance, how many iPad downloads did we do, or within a date range. So the report type that we have available here, there's several of them. The first one I want to show you here is just the iPad downloads. So I'm going to click on that, and here we can look at the products, the issues. I'm going to go ahead and just quickly do this, click on the issue here, and reformat it. So now you can quickly see they have been publishing for 2 years online, and now you can see the growth that they have had. You know, since the first issues, you can see in the 2013 consistently the numbers are going up. So those are important reports for you to review. Are you doing, you know, what type of information are you relaying to your customers? How are you promoting your digital edition? We have the issue analytics. So this is a very important one. This is basically going to be showing us, you know, per issue here. Again, I'm going to go ahead and do this again, sorted by the issues, but it's going to show us the page views. So we can see here in the beginning of 2011, you know, the page views were very limited, but as we go through here, the page views dramatically increase. And it's, of course, you know, Stewart Magazine here was one of the first ones that came out with a digital edition. So we can see at that time there was probably limited amount of smartphones, limited amount of tablets as well, and then they have also gotten better at promoting their digital editions. So those are important numbers for you to view. We have other things like events. So events could be, you know, all the hyperlinks that we have in here. Again, we could click on the issues here. We can see all the different issues and how many hyperlinks have been clicked on, or which ones are the hyperlinks. So this is important information that you can relay back to your advertiser. Again, now you have something that you can give your advertiser and say, you provide us with these links, and then you can come back and say, you know what, I sent 113 clients to your web page. How much business, I wonder, did you get out of that? Just giving them value for their money that they spent with you. Of course, we can narrow these types down either by web or by iPad. So those are some of the examples of the analytics that we have available. As you've seen here, there are more analytics available. The last thing I want to show you is the published content. So the published content is going to show all the issues that we currently have. So again, we're just going to quickly do this. We can see here the issues that's currently live. We can see some of the issues that's not live anymore. So the April 2011 here, we can see that is not live in the Apple newsstand. It's not live in the Magazine Central newsstand either. But if I wanted to, I could simply click this and enable it again, and now it will be published there again. So should you take something down, and now you get a lot of requests to, we really want to review this issue again, now you can simply come back in here and just enable it. So you have this readily available to you at your own fingertips. Now, for further help on these reports and further questions, just please reach out to your consultants, and we'll all be happy to assist you with all of this. So let me go ahead and jump back over here. Now we come into, now we talked about the analytics. I want to go into the search function, and this is where this becomes a really powerful tool. As I mentioned before, whenever we upload a PDF, we actually scan it for content, and so you'll be able to search for that. You can choose either by content or by client or by both. In this case here, I want to create we have a lot of designers that advertise with us, so I want to go ahead and actually create a custom digital edition for all the things that's been designed throughout the year. So here I will see all the pages that run with my digital editions, or at least I've uploaded for my review. Now I can simply just come in here. I can just select the pages that I want and say, yeah, this looks good. There's a few more pages. Oh, that was a duplicate. And I'll just go through the list here and select the pages that I want. And then when I'm ready, I simply come up to the top here and click Add to List. Now I have this. Oh, it looks like I selected that one twice. We'll go ahead and go back and just unselect that one again. We'll add it again. So now here I have a quick custom digital edition that I can create. And of course, just to put this in perspective, this is of course just a test site, but this could be this is just one client that have run designs with you or ads with you through the year. And you just quickly want to follow up with them and say, here, thank you very much for advertising. It could be that this is all the restaurants that you have in the area, as I mentioned before, and you want to show this to a potential new client and basically say, look at all these other restaurants that's advertising with us. Here's 50 restaurants that's already doing this. Why won't you want to, you should be part of this so we can start sending clients to your restaurant as well. So those are just examples. We can give this a name then, and we'll probably just call this one Design, and click OK. At that point, it just redirects us, and we're now actually ready to just click the Publish button and publish it. Now, in this case here, I actually did do this already, so I'm just going to go ahead and pull this up. So same idea here, same pages, and now as soon as you click the Publish button, again in here, you're now provided with your digital edition link, and you just copy that, you send this to your client, and here's your digital edition. So this is your custom digital edition. This is how quick it is. How nice would this be for your sales reps as well to bring out in the field? Look, this is what we provide our clients. We can provide you with a custom digital edition that you can actually use to advertise and promote yourself. You could promote this on your Facebook page, on your website. And now, instead of just having one page available, they have a whole custom digital edition making your clients look great as well. Just giving your clients more value for the money that they can advertise with you. So of course, this was just one example. Another example that I also created in here was for Top Doctors. So Top Doctors is here. Same thing. Let me grab that link real quick so I can show you what that would look like to give you an idea. So this could be your top doctors in the area. And again, now this is posted. Some top doctors. It gives you a whole list here. And now there's examples. Obviously, this is the dentist. And here we have cardiology, and so on and so forth. So we can go through here. So there's just so many options in here that you can do with being able to create those custom digital editions. And this is really where we stand out, and there's a lot of value added to the product. All right. So at this point here, let me go ahead and show you the second part here. So digital editions, let's talk about that. Now, we talked a little bit about, I showed you also Stuart Magazine. So I wanted to show you, this is one of our clients that's given us permission to share some of the information. Now, with Stuart Magazine, I just wanted to give you a little bit of background. This is a small little town here in Florida. About 16,000 is the population. So this is the circulation that they have. So it's actually a very high circulation for the amount of people that live there. But you can see here kind of where are the 11,000 print versions where they're distributed. So we have some that's distributed professionally, affluent mailing, luxury hotels, and so on and so forth. And this is approximately where in Florida it's distributed. Now let's talk to digital and why digital is very important. Now for the readers, they decide when, where, and how they want to see the content. Now for Stuart Magazine, since they started doing this digitally, they actually have an answer for that. They are everywhere, 24/7. You have access to their digital version. This has helped them increase their business exposure beyond the print. They are now providing reader engagements, and they do that by video links, by buy now links, e-commerce links. They do this by creating website links, etc. We also provide the analytics, which you don't have available for print. And now, of course, the big one there at the bottom is more readers are looking at magazines online and on tablets. So the content delivery channel that they have, that they currently, or that they used to have only, was the print channels. So we have the print by mail. We have the print magazines in brick and mortar and the newsstands. We have the bulk distribution. This really used to be it as far as the print. But now, in addition to that, they have the new channels that's delivering magazine content. So here we have all the email campaigns, online digital editions, branded apps, digital newsstands. We have the website, the content management system. They also do it to Facebook and other social media. So this is 9 additional channels that content is delivered through. So this is great news, both for editorial and advertisers. The reason it's great for editorial is for your digital editions, you can quickly come in here. Let's say on your print, you only have 3 pages that you can run for your full story. Well, your digital edition, you can just add 4 or 5 different more pages and then have a full story. And say for further, in your print magazine to view this in full, refer back to our digital edition. This is a way that people are creating more interest for their digital editions. It's also great news for the advertisers because instead of just having the 3 channels of distribution, now they have all these other types of distribution. In addition to that, you're also providing them with a service. You can provide them with the digital editions that they can actually post on their own Facebook or own websites. So Stuart Magazine 2013 so far, they've had over 500,000 digital page views, almost 9,500 readers, almost 1,800 iPad editions, website link clicks, how many pages have actually been shared on Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest, and Tumblr. So if you think about it, to put this in perspective again, Stuart Magazine, only 16,000 people live there. So these numbers are extremely high. So it means that they're doing something right as far as the way they are getting the readers engaged. So I wanted to show you this. This is the analytics over the past year, and this kind of shows the page views per issue. So I'm showing here 4 years. This is taken from summer of last year. And remember, again, like I said before, Stuart Magazine has been publishing digitally for 2 years. This shows just the growth. In 2012 summer, they had 28,000 people that was page views. And then we go in through, and we can obviously see in February of this year they had a huge issue, and then it dropped off a little bit. But now we can see the growth is actually coming back here in the summer. But if you compare just any of these to the previous year, like the summer for last year, we can see it's more than doubled in growth. So it's just exponential as far as how many people are viewing things online. So here's a couple examples of how are they actually promoting. They do this via email promotions. This is one of the things that they had in their February issue that was very popular, the best catches of Stewart. So what they did here is obviously they just simply took a JPEG and they posted this and sent this out to the clients where they could click right in the middle of the page and actually view the digital edition. Now they also found that when they did that mailing, that a lot of these mailings were actually caught in spam filters. So with one of the other things that they also publish is Boca Life, they've changed their way they actually do it now. So when they send something out, they do like a little cover page here in HTML templates for higher email delivery success. Embedded in this is tracking clicks, and this is for promotion to individual digital web pages. Now, just real quick here, this is where the benefits of, I know we just, in the past week here, we had another webinar on Contactology. This is where Contactology can become a really help, because anytime you send out communication via email, you would actually be able to come in here and track who opened this information, where did they open it at, and get that information. You have the match unique visitors to pages viewed as well. So in a different way, just real quick here, I want to go back. This is what they used to do, and now this is what they do now. If you ask me, I think this one particularly looks a lot more clean, it looks more professional, and now you actually are engaging the reader a little bit more as well. So talking about engaging the reader, how are Stewart Magazine actually doing this, and how have they increased their readership by so much? So they're doing this by placing links in both editorial pieces and also in advertisements. They do this, they place these links to websites, they place them to special promotion landing pages, to events where people can sign up. And then one of the things they have started to do this year as well is that they call it their Throwback Thursdays. They take old magazine covers and post on Facebook, and then they have small contests. Sometimes these are just, who wins, great. Other times they have a little gift card. Maybe this is a treat or a barter they've done with the restaurant, and people can win a gift certificate that way. But these are just ways to continuously re-engage the clients. We have the e-commerce capability, where you have now the buy now icon within the digital edition, so people can actually purchase whatever they're viewing right from within the digital edition. And then also the multimedia, of course, and particularly the video. The video is very popular. Every time they have that, it's often reviewed. Audio files, slideshows as well. So what are the advantages for your advertisers when you actually have these digital editions? Well, the first one here is to promote the digital edition via email promotions. We just talked about that and showed you how that can be done. You promote it via Facebook pages. You provide a digital edition link for marketing your digital editions. Advertisers can promote this for their own email list. So you have the BMW as we use today. You say, well, here is it. Now take this and send this out to all your clients. Now, as they do that, of course, every time they click on it, they're going to be redirected as well into your magazine, increasing your readership as well, because most likely these clients are going to click on more than just this BMW ad. So the advertisers can now post this to Facebook and also on their own website. Ongoing readership, the issues remain live on the digital newsstand. So this is unlike the brick-and-mortar newsstands that's removed every time a new issue comes out. Past issues continue to be seen. And then we have the big one here, what's the advantage here? You have the analytics. You can see the page views, how many visitors, how many clicks did your ads have, how many videos were watched, how many times were your pages shared socially. So Stewart in the digital, as we mentioned before, they are everywhere, anytime, and across multiple devices. We're displayed on the digital newsstand, the Apple newsstand. They do have a branded app as well, which I'm going to talk about in just a minute. And then they're displayed on the 4 free newsstands that we provide, the Magazine Central online newsstands, where you can be viewed on your PC and Mac. And then you have your iPad, Android, and Amazon newsstands. As I mentioned here, displayed on any device, any browser, any operating system. So just to kind of finish this up, we have facts on tablets. So here are some of the facts. How many tablets were actually sold? In 2012, 116 million tablets were sold. 94 million were sold in the U.S. alone. 2013, it's estimated that almost 200 million is going to be sold. That's an increase of 70%. So now, out of all these tablets, a third of American adults already own tablets like an iPad, Samsung, Google, or Kindle Fire. There's been a 200% increase in magazine apps for tablets. 51% of tablet users prefer to read magazines in the tablets. This is simply because tablets are becoming more of a social or a leisure device than anything else. So when you go and you sit on your couch in the evening, instead of having your big laptop with you, you now just grab your tablet and now you browse through. 200 plus magazine apps was created alone in the last month. 70% more magazine page views take place on tablets versus smartphones. I want to point this out because a lot of times we talk to clients and they say, well, we want to, have a digital edition for the smartphones. But research here obviously show that that's not really where people are going to read it. It's simply too small for your smartphone. Now it is available as well, of course, but the tablet market is where the magazines are going to be viewed in the future. Now tablets have 75% more time spent per visitor per session versus the smartphone. 3 times more purchases are made on tablets than smartphones. So when you have your buy now links, you want them to be viewed on the tablet, so people actually click on these links and they purchase things from your advertisers. And then just here at the bottom, I put in here, just keep in mind it's only 3 years ago that the tablets hit the market. And already now, this is how many people or how many tablets have been sold. So it's hugely popular, and that is only increasing. Now the magazine readers, we know for a fact that 34% access websites through digital ads. We also know that 31% watched a video embedded in the magazine. 30% downloaded a magazine app. 24% actually accessed the social network through the magazine. So actually sharing your pages. So these, again, are really large numbers when you take into account how many devices that's out there. We have the digital magazine pricing. I wanted to kind of round this off with so you have an idea of what does this cost to do. Within digital magazine, when you create or actually publish, there's a charge of 50 cents per page. And then we have the digital magazine archiving. As long as it's live or it's actually live on the newsstands, it's 5 cents per page. The archiving then is 1 cent for the PDF and JPEG. The reason there's a JPEG charge, when we actually upload the image, we take an image of your PDF. The reason we do that is that everything we do is done in an HTML5 format, which is why we are able to provide this in cross-platforms and giving you a great viewer experience. So I wanted to show an example here this is for a 100-page magazine. This is for a full year. This particular one here is done for 12 issues, so it comes on a monthly basis. It stores all the PDFs and JPEGs. The annual cost here for the total magazine creation is $600, magazine archiving, and JPEG and PDF archiving, for a total of just a little bit over $1,000. Very, very reasonable. Then we also offer a branded app creation. The branded app creation is just a one-time fee of $14.99. This means that if you wanted to be published in the Apple newsstand, as I showed you before, the Apple newsstand, it could either be that you wanted to be an Apple newsstand, it could be that you wanted just an Apple app, so you actually would be by yourself on the page. Now there's a little bit of difference between the two. If you just wanted to be in the page itself, then there's no analytics that Apple provides. If you are going through their newsstands, they do provide some analytics as well. Now, of course, along with this, if you have the branded app creation, you'll now have the Apple newsstands, the Magazine Central newsstands, both for iPad devices, Android, and Kindle devices, and also the web. In addition to that, shortly we'll also have a standalone Android app that will be available. And so if you wanted a branded app for the Android device. Now, if you want that, that will still be included in this rate. So just keep that in mind. So that kind of concludes everything we had to show you today. Now, I do want to say that right now we are offering for the company here, in particular for today's training, the first 30 clients that we do have, we are offering free training on the tool here on how to use it. So I do highly recommend that you will contact your consultants and get that training scheduled for you guys, and so we can help you guys get started with the magazine and show you how to paginate and how to publish your first digital edition. We'll kind of help you there. We'll walk you through step by step. Now, of course, we know that some of you are maybe researching other clients as well. So I want to show you just real quick here. I want to show you just 10 questions that you should be asking, or really it's 11 I have here. But when you are researching this for other clients and other digital editions providers, these are some of the questions that you certainly should consider to ask. You know, what digital newsstand will my digital publication be available on? Apple Newsstand, how much does that cost? How long will my digital edition stay live? Does embedding rich media cost anything? Videos, audios, slideshows, and so on. Can a reader share any portion of an image within the digital edition, or must they share the entire page? What analytics are provided, and how do I get access to the digital dashboard so I can see the metrics by product, issue, date range? And also, will these analytics be broken down by device? How can I create an online flat plan? Can I create, or can I print the flat plan? Can I drag and drop assets off the flat plan in real time? Can I search and create a custom digital edition from the archived assets? Can I sell subscriptions with my digital editions? What mobile devices would this be available on? Will you create my digital edition in HTML5 so it works on any device? And then finally, of course, it's going to be the price. Now, any of this information is readily available to you guys. Just let us know. We'll be happy to provide any help we can. We want you guys to get out there and get published, and anything we can do to help you do it, let us know. So thank you very much for listening in on today's webinar. We used up just about the whole hour here, except for a couple minutes. I'm going to go ahead and leave this up for a couple minutes. So thank you again. Have a great day.